watching. I can't believe it. I just finished up about a half hour ago on the Atlantean Crystal by Dr. Raymond Brown. Dr. Raymond Brown. Unexplained Mysteries by Leonard Nimoy. That one. I just finished. I forgot. I forgot one of the most important stories that I was supposed to tell you that I'm going to make real quick because my phone just came out of the freezer and it's still 108 at about a quarter to 7 on Wednesday. So this is the story. After he told us about the ruby that he found, see, because when he went back 4 years later and he got the Atlantean crystal, all right. Yeah. This guy doesn't get enough goodies. What I'm saying is I forgot the most important part. Not the most important, but the other part of the story. So I'm doing kind of two lives in a row, within a half hour or so. So this is the story. Yeah, they get back on the boat. He's got the ruby, and all of a sudden they're in the boat, and this is going to be the thumbnail. It'll be the void. The void. The void is. This is the thumbnail. It was the Bermuda Triangle. They actually went into the Bermuda Triangle, and I've never heard a story like this or anything close to it. So this is what he told us. Prior to going into the void, into the Bermuda Triangle, there was birds, there was waves, there was sloshing on the boat, and all of a sudden, everything turned gray. The scene around their boat was gray, kind of a misty, but gray, and there was no more waves washing upon the boat, and they got all very concerned about this, and I guess I was the one out of the crowd that had to ask a question. I said, Dr. Brown, did you have an oar? Did you have an oar? He says, yeah, we had an oar. I said, well, did you have some rope? Yeah, we had some rope. I said, well, why didn't you tie the rope around the oar and throw it over the side of the boat and to see if there was a splash or something like that? He says, no, that's not really what we had in mind. It wasn't one of those things that you would do that. And then I said, hey, L.A. Clark. Hey, Grandpa. Dope beard. Wow. Dope beard, huh? Well, I guess I could trim it a little, but I'm keeping it this length, just for right now. So what happened was, nobody's asking any questions, you know? Hey, Denise, this story's good evening. Good evening to you, too. You must have missed just my other live a half hour ago. You might want to check that out. It's about the crystal, the Atlantean crystal. This is a follow-up of what happened right after they found the ruby, and now they're in the boat with nothing but gray around them. Okay. I love your beard and Doug. You know what? There's some kind of a resemblance here, I think. That's what I've been told. This is a guy from Russia that says that we have, looks like things in common here. My guess is what your advice is, new generation. I have a few ideas on a new generation. And chosen just us. Oh, come on. This is a family channel, guys. Come on, let's keep it clean. You can't tell the difference between me and my dog. Oh, that's terrible. Um, so then my next question is Dr. Brown, are you a farmer? No, are you? Actually, I do plant things. Um, I'll go into that sometime. Um, you're tired of the shrooms, huh? Well, I got an episode on that one too, and the shaman medicine man gave me some stuff, and the Indian women gave me some stuff, and we combined it. That would be another story. Um, Okay. So I said, you had you had equipment, your your diving equipment was all functional. He said, yes, yes, we still had air in it. I said, so doctor, why didn't you tie a rope around yourself in diving equipment and jump over the side of the boat just to see what was down there? He said, son, that's not the whole idea of when you go into the Bermuda Triangle like that. You need a haircut? I don't think so. I'm going to grow it longer. What do you think about that? I've heard people say I should cut my hair. Yeah? What is your dog's name? This dog is Skippy. I called him Skippy because he almost got run over by the freeway. That was what the lady told me. And I thought, hey, well, they were calling this just dog. I said, no, he avoided some traffic. His name should be Skippy. What's your dog's name? It's Skippy. Um, so he said, Dr. Brown says, the last thing you're going to do is tie a rope around yourself and jump over off the boat where there's no waves and everything is gray around you. He said it's a feeling he's never had before. In fact, he says what we did was, the whole crew, they all found a part of the boat to go to, and they just held themselves. And some fell asleep. He didn't. But he said about a few hours later, all of a sudden there was a light coming through, and they sailed out of this. Well, it was the Bermuda Triangle. Now, planes I've heard about going through this, and all their register stuff is going crazy and all that, and they kind of go in and out. But I never heard anything about a gray. It being gray, no sound, no birds, no water. Has anybody heard anything like that? That's my question to you. You can give me an answer if you like. That you ran across somebody, or even saw a film on it to where it was true, a true documentary. Because a lot of people go in there and they just never come back out. I'm talking about boats, planes, and people that are missing to this day. They go into this void and they don't come back out. So Dr. Ray Brown was very, and I haven't heard him tell a story about that on, all I heard about is the crystal, the Atlantean crystal that he found, that I just did a half hour ago. The Atlantean crystal. So this is the thumbnail of The Void, Lost in the Void. And anybody else out there that says that you have these comments, man, come on. This is a family channel, guys. Plus, who knows what's reading? You should just keep it clean, man. Just keep it clean. So I'll have more on. By the way, I just wanted to point out on the last episode when he pulled up on his Harley and he got off with his babe and on a sheepwell pillow that they were sitting on. I fail to tell you that these Indian spiritual hot springs that I was living at for a year, that I was barefoot, just a blanket and a staff, this is what they were going for, okay? That I guess I failed to mention also. They were going for a lot of things. Raw food. Eventually they were thinking in the mindset of being a breatharian, okay? And this is a whole group of individuals that, well, it was kind of a big family. You might call it a commune, all right? Commune. You have to look that up, communes. That's where a gathering was, where people lived together. Now, when I first got there, I didn't know that it was a nudist commune, okay? But I was prepared for it because I had made a lot of money and I had a lot of women. That was my goal for life. Money, 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 women, women, women. So when they said that this was a nudist commune, but everyone was celibate. Do you know what celibate means? That means you don't do the beautiful thing. You're celibate. So I said to myself, hey man, I'm on that plane. That's what I'm going with. What I found out though, later on, by the imp, we'll call him the imp. He was a little kid that he was the informer, and they were always trying to test me because there's beautiful women from all over the world that were there that had a room. There was bands that lived there, different bands. Um, I think Mick Jagger might have owned that property at the time. If it wasn't him, if it wasn't the Stones, it was somebody else. But yeah, they were pretty well-known people, and everybody had a place. It was like over 300 rooms in this three-story Victorian house, and it was all right. Little background, real fast, is it was made in the 30s by some jet setters. So the planes came that they came in. They built up the whole area with cement, made ponds, baths. Then after they got done with it coming in, it became like a kind of a cat house, you know. So it has some really very interesting energies to this three-story Victorian house. In fact, up in the bell tower, I believe there was 4 people at the time that had they wrapped themselves around and jumped out the window. So there was 4 of those guys that did hangings on the bell tower, hanging in the bed. There was definitely energies there. And then they used to come in bus loads with people that were on their way out, that were in homes. And how the story goes is the people came in for their last bath. So they came in on the bus, but they went out in a hearse. So there was quite a bit of, I would have to say, negative energy in this house. I'll go into that at another time. But what I wanted to say was, out of the whole year, I was the only one that was celibate. True story. I would not lie on that. And so many other things, like the shaman medicine man and his whole entourage that I talked about a little bit. There's so many stories I got on this one that I'm sure I'll catch somebody's eye. So that's what I wanted to say was the lost void, lost in the void, is this thumbnail. Now, anybody that sees this, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment would be great. And anything else, Skippy and I would appreciate. Be well. God victory.